There is no handshake between governance and intellectualism.
No. There are no more intellectuals in this country, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think they exist. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. I think most of the people who claim to be intellectuals are frauds.
Why do you think so?
Because there's no depth to their thinking. They haven't done the work.
So in other parts of the world, you see research that
everything that Donald Trump is doing, if you read Project 2024, you would know he was going to do it. And you can tell what thinking went into it. Every single thing he's doing.
So the progress of this country, or the backwardness, as the case is because of lack of thinking.
Of course. It's not because of corruption. It's lack of thinking.
So you don't think corruption is a problem?
No, corruption is not a problem for this country at all. Corruption is actually a solution to the problems of this country.
Really?
Right? Yeah, that's how people have chosen to solve the country's problems. Right? Which is a stupid way to solve the problem. But it is just, I don't know what to do with this money. Let me just take it and solve my problem.
So we are not using the university research centers?
No, we're not touching university. What are we doing in universities? Many of the problems we have in this country, the university professors should have sat down. We should have, pulled them together. But we don't. And we lose our brightest and best abroad. They go to Harvard, they go to Stanford. Some of them are faithful enough to stay in the universities. But their research... Who uses it? Who cares to even ask them?
So if you have your way, if you were president today, you will assemble some of the brightest minds in the room to start thinking for government. Look,
I'll tell you something. If I ever became a president of this country, I'm not campaigning for it, by the way. I don't intend to do it. But I'm just saying that for me, the thinking behind policy decisions will be priority for me. I won't just accept advice, here. No. Who are the best people in the world that understand this problem deeply? And how can we get them to help us?
So it's also built on those who are voting. That you say, we just think that the guy can. If you don't have a thinker as a leader, you are in a dangerous path.
To be honest, part of the reason why, and the people say I defend this government, whatever, but the truth is, part of the reason why you even have some modicum of reasonability coming out of the villa these days, at least some things are reasoned out, is because you do have somebody who's thought a little bit about a number of big problems. Fiscal solvency of the Confederation, federation matters, and you are seeing the thinking reflected in the decisions that it's making. Most of the things where you see knee-jerk action is because nobody has actually thought about it. Like the digital space. I mean, you're not seeing a lot more knee-jerk action because there's now some thinking there. But for a very long time, and for many other agencies outside of digital economy to a certain extent, many of the digital things they're doing are just knee-jerk. They've not actually thought through the problem.
And that's a problem.
That is the problem.
I mean, what would you say to people who are watching you right now, listening, and say, how do I become the next Flutterwave, Andela, or the Talent City?
So I think the biggest thing is you need to find a problem that you have a deep affinity to. And most importantly, you have to have a unique customer insight that drives the business you're trying to build. Like with Flutterwave, what was our unique customer insight? Our unique customer insight was the merchant generally does not care how he gets paid. He just wants to be paid, right? So rather than give him an Access Bank terminal or give him another app or give him a POS, why don't we just provide him a payment system so that however the customer wants to pay, he can pay and he gets his money? Is 10 a.m. the following morning. That was the unique customer insight that drove Flutterwave, right? And Della, the unique customer insight is, look, there's no real difference between a fresh out of school grad from Stanford and somebody who has been trained to provide the same level of productivity and output when it comes to software engineering. Yet, the fresh out of school grad from Stanford will get a $120K salary, and the one that is here is willing to do it for $30K. And in fact, he thinks that's a fantastic, more than fantastic salary. So how do you connect employers who are looking for lower cost talent that is just as brilliant anywhere else in the world? That's it. So do you really understand your customer? That's the question. If you really deeply understand your customer at a level of insight that is unmatched, you can build a valuable company anytime.
Interesting.